Record.
Welcome to The Big Picture again, and Arkin, as always, is with me. Hello, how are you?
Very good, thank you. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks. And I want to talk to you about something which sounds like a computer game or maybe a film, The Grand Fall.
If you talk about it, if you name it, it has value and it has weight.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about it in that sense. Let's talk about it like, what are we going through at this point in time?
Well, we're going through something which doesn't feel very good at the moment because it makes me feel a bit of a downer, really.
Any kind of change, if you are not consciously aware,
Yeah.
gives you a little resistance because change is that actually.
Yeah.
You're transforming into something new, you're shifting into something new. And that shift, although it is only in the understanding, is something. And it is global.
Absolutely, it's global. I mean,
It's on a massive scale.
Yeah, so many people have said to me, people are changing, people are getting more aggressive for some reason at the moment.
They see their own aggression in other people.
Right.
Okay, there are some questions that need to be answered. First of all,
Yeah.
why?
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 The $100,000 question, why?
Why
Can you
is
answer that?
the first question? Why is it happening? It's happening for the good. Why is it good? Because this change, this shift, this transformation of the consciousness of the whole humanity
Yeah.
will result in something that is called the Golden Age. And that Golden Age, of course, will not start immediately, but will come in time.
What are we looking for?
We're not looking
in the
for
golden
anything.
Age, what is that going to
Think about
be?
the best potential of yourself that you can be and multiply it by 8 billion. That's
So the
how
world's going to become a better place.
the world has always been a very good place. The world was never a bad place. It was the people. It was the consciousness. It was the lack of understanding.
Are we talking here about maybe some people who are here at the moment aren't going to be here?
Exactly that.
So that's what
exactly
you're getting
that.
at. It's interesting.
And it's why. The first question is because it was time. This
Yeah.
shift was expected to happen all the time for the past 26,000 years. And now it's time. It is happening. It is on. And we are so lucky to be alive in this period of time.
These are the 26,000 years that each time we get through that amount of time,
Yeah.
things start to change in the world. Yeah.
First was why.
Which I've
Yeah.
read about actually.
The second one is what? What is
What?
happening?
Okay,
What is
what
this
is
shift?
happening,
What is changing? Your understanding, my understanding, our understanding is changing. Our capacity to understand changes. Our transformation is only in the consciousness. And that consciousness, because it's not something concrete as we would like to see,
Yeah.
the whole change happens in your psyche, in your understanding, in your mind, in your soul. That's why it is that big and it doesn't have an effect like gravity. It doesn't have an effect, comma, like gravity.
Yeah.
You can only find it. You can only find what it does to you after it's done or while it is being done. And this change, this shift, that change is the test. What are we testing? Why are we being tested? What
Yeah,
are
why
we
are we
being
being
tested on?
tested?
We are being tested on our attachment to form. What is that form? What are you expecting? Whatever you're expecting in a form so that you can understand it. You are so used to seeing things, life, understanding your perception, everything in a pattern or in patterns. Now it's time to get rid of those patterns and be. It's so subtle. That's why it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. You must look at the expression on my face when
Yeah.
you're talking here, because I mean, what? What are you getting at?
Just okay. What is wealth? What is richness? What is being rich?
Well, as we said, we spoke earlier about being rich is we imagine money when we talk about rich. The first
Yeah.
thing that comes into your head is
The
money.
riches.
Yeah.
But what is about money that makes you rich?
It gives you the power to.
The power, the potential.
Yeah. Yeah.
The potential to purchase. What is that purchase? What is that potential to purchase? It is doing what you want to do. It is lack of restrictions.
Yes.
The less you lack, the more you have. The more you value what you have. This means being rich is needing less, not having more.
Sure. Yeah.
This is a shift in understanding, right? We didn't do anything, but if you really understood what I just said to you, you have changed yourself in a very massive way. You have changed your life. You have changed your perspective on life. So, what is the change that's happening in the world now? We have been asleep for over millennia. Millennia. I'm talking about more than the lifespan of humans or cultures or
Why now? Why?
now? Because it was time. Why does water boil at 100 degrees Celsius? Why does it boil at 100 degrees Celsius?
'Cause it does.
Because it does.
Yeah.
It's the nature of things. This is the time when it was meant to happen. You see, if you follow astrology, or not even astrology, but cosmology, the celestial beings, the sun, the planets, other planetary systems, whatever in the sky, they're going through some really rare events that, for example, the Star of Bethlehem was last seen while Christ was born, 2,000 years ago.
Sorry, I'm nodding.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be
2,000
talking,
years
shouldn't I?
ago.
Yeah.
The Star of Bethlehem is not a star. It's the convergence of Venus and Jupiter in the sky. They are so close.
Which has been
yeah,
recent.
yeah, very
It
recent.
happened recently, yeah.
And we just had a blue moon. Everyone was expecting to see a fucking blue
Yeah.
moon, but it's not a blue moon as in the color blue. It's the same month having two full moons because the lunar cycle is not 30 days, it's 29 days and 15 hours or something. And the remaining hours will give you a blue moon because it's called a blue moon. It's not blue.
Sure.
Having blue balls is not having blue balls, but, having
Quite a nice drink as well.
Yeah. This happening at this time was meant to happen at this time.
Do you know, if you look back then...
And the solar eclipse,
Yeah.
the solar eclipse, blood moon just before that. All these are happening back to back. And we are now being bombarded with photonic explosions. The planet is going through a light shower.
And we've witnessed many, many disturbing things over the last so many years of violence, and it's all is it all coming out now, and it's about to disappear?
You think about this. Cecile the lion was wounded first, then shot to
Yes.
death. A wounded lion attacks the fiercest. Why? It's the instinct of survival. When you're between a hard place and a rock and a hard place, when you're cornered, you attack without regard to
Yes.
anything because that's your final stand. The darkness is making its final stand, but it's in vain because the war has already been lost for them. The light will prevail because the light has prevailed. It's just an understanding. Nothing is bad. Nothing is evil.
Yeah.
It's just playing out a role that it was supposed to. Because, for example, someone who murders another, is it evil?
We assume it is. We do say
Who are
it's
you
evil, yeah.
when you say we?
Well, the majority of people.
Are you the majority?
No, I'm not. But when you hear people talking about these events, these things that happen, they do.
Why do they call
talk
it
about
evil? Because
They don't. It's not right. It doesn't seem
it's
right.
it's the same approach that you have
Yeah.
while telling me this sentence, because it is a time, it is a place, that's the understanding, that is the trend, that's the culture, it's what they've been taught, it's what they think is right. That is form. It's now time to let go of that form. Formal opinion, formal understanding, dogma, anything that has to sit on a concrete outline frame will have to be shaken.
You talk about change and about how things are going to be maybe different. We always imagine, is the world going to be the same place as it was before? Yes, sure it is. Isn't
The
it? It's
place is
it's
going to
just
be
our
the same.
minds. We're
Yeah.
going to have a different attitude on things, different outlook on things.
Exactly. It's like looking at the same picture but seeing another
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Or you use glasses, your eyes are the same, what you're looking at is the same, but the lens between
Makes it clearer.
makes it clearer. It's an adjustment that we have. Many people on this planet, above 60% of the people on this planet, are not consciously aware that they are not their bodies or their emotions. They can control them because they are
Do you think
tools.
everybody's going to change it? Do you think everybody will benefit
Regardless
this?
of
how they are, what they are,
how
what
they are,
do.
what they are. They have to go
Yeah.
through this change. What they come out as in the end is up to them. This is the next question. Why is it happening? What is happening? Why is it happening to us? Why me? Because you are a human. That's why. Because you are alive on this planet right now. You think you have no choice but to be alive, or you think you didn't choose your family, your friends, your name, your birth date. You didn't choose them, or so you think. There's two different ways of looking at life, as if everything is a miracle and as if nothing is a miracle. This is said by Albert Einstein. I always give his examples because people regard him as one of the
Sure.
most brilliant minds in the world. They ask Albert Einstein, what does it feel like to be the smartest man alive? He says, ask Tesla. Because he is. And they both say that we, as humans, the humanity, the majority of the people that are alive, that make up the population on this planet, if and when we think in terms of vibration, frequency, we will understand a lot more than we have been able to understand in the past years.
Will that change our outlook? I mean, what I'm going to say is, for what we understand at the moment, which maybe is just a little drop in the ocean, we've done a lot of damage to our world. Is this going to...
The world doesn't need saving. You told me that China had some places, remote places or abandoned places, that was claimed back by nature in just 50 years. The world doesn't need saving. The humans need saving. The consciousness, the collective consciousness of the humanity needs the saving. We need to save us. Many people are waiting for saviors from another planet, from the stars.
Absolutely.
We are the ones to save ourselves. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Well, I am one of those people.
And maybe this is the wake-up call. This is hopefully...
The wake-up call has been on. It's been ringing for some time now. That's why many people have been feeling down and low, although nothing has changed. Remember the example that I gave you. You used to be able to go 100 miles on a full tank.
Yes.
100 gallons, 100 miles. 100 liters, 100 kilometers. 100 liters, 100 kilometers. I like that. 100 to 100. You used to be able to go 100 with a full tank. You felt full when you thought that you could go 100 miles or kilometers, whatever. That would feel less and less when you came close to having an empty tank. Around 30%, you would start to feel anxious because it was just 30%. More than 3 times and plus was your total capacity. That capacity is the capacity of the tank. Potential is the fuel inside. The fuel is...
The tank's getting bigger. We're making the tank bigger.
The fuel is the potential, and it's endless. It's limitless. You always put more and go more. Even though you have 100 liters of a tank, if you are connected to the source, you can go anywhere. You don't need to have a tank because you're connected to the source. You just fill and use, fill and use. What if your tank, the capacity of your tank, is upgraded to 200 liters, 200 gallons, and you can now go 200, twice the amount of distance, twice the distance you could go on a full tank, and you don't know. You think you have a full tank, but it feels 50%.
You're only half full.
You know you can do better. You know you can do more when you are full, because you are used to being full at 100 liters, 100 gallons, or you just stop yourself automatically. This is form. This is what you're used to. This is habit. Break that. See through that. This is the illusion. This is the grand illusion.
Habits sometimes can be hard to break.
Sometimes, always hard to break, because they are called habits for a reason. You make a decision, leave it there, make that switch, and you assume that it's going to be left on or off the way you switched it for the rest of time being. No. Any decision you make in your life, you have to make them over and over again every moment. Consciously aware that you have now twice the capacity to go the distance because your tank is bigger. You have more responsibility because now if you fill it up, there's a distance that you can go. Why you? Because you are alive. No other reason for that. Why are all these that are happening to me? Because you are alive. Otherwise, you wouldn't have to go through anything.
Okay, this shift, this change pattern, the duration of this, is it coming to an end?
Very close to
a conclusion?
Very close to it. Yeah. Because it's been going on for 26,000 years. And why is that 26,000 not a random number? It's 25,192, by the way. It's the grand cycle. It's the big cycle of the Mayan calendar. The one that ended in 21st of December 2012 was the end of a 25,192 year cycle. We're in the new age.
We have been for the last 2 years?
We have been in the new age. Just like this. It's 1 o'clock now, 1 p.m. Does it feel like 1 p.m.? No. If I didn't tell you and I told you it's 4 now, you would have been rushing out of the studio.
I'd been panicking.
Yeah. Because time is only external. We create time by projecting it outwards. 26,000 years is a long time compared to a human lifespan. But 26,000 years is nothing compared to billions of years of age that this world has gone through. It's not even nothing. It's not even there.
It's not even a blink, I suppose.
It's not even a blink of an eye. That's why this is the end of it. We are now coming to the end of the whole shift.
I can't wait, because I've been feeling, you were talking about feeling down and feeling horrible.
If you're looking forward to something, you're missing what's going on. You're missing valuable points of consciousness. Being alive through this journey is worth more than reaching the end of it. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to anyone who is
Yeah.
ever listening. All those 5 people.
That many now?
I don't know if it's 6 now, but definitely anyone who's listening.
Yeah.
If you're alive now, be thankful, be grateful, because this is the only thing we have. This body, this mind, this consciousness is the only thing we have. Everything else is an illusion. Why me? Because you're alive. Why now? Because it was time. What is happening? A huge grand shift. What is happening now? What is this grand fall? The fall is the test. Is the test to see if you can survive mentally, philosophically, physically, without clinging on to anything, any story. Do you think you're going to be rich if all the money systems in the world has collapsed and you have lost all your savings?
But money is not anything.
It is
really
going to happen.
anyway, is it?
This what I'm saying is going to happen. And when it happens, only the ones with the understanding that money does not provide riches. Money does not provide you wealth. What does? Whatever you say does, but money does not.
Sure, yeah.
What is health?
We survived a long time without money.
What is
as
health?
a human race. Health is, I would imagine, the most important thing.
Why?
If you're healthy, then you're going to live a long, happy life, aren't you?
Living a long, happy life, being alive,
Yeah.
existing,
Being not having disabilities stopping you from doing things.
restrictions of your being.
Yeah.
Being is the ultimate, right? How do you know that you are? Because you are. No one has to tell you that. Existential approach to being ceases when you die. That's why we, as the ones who are alive, are in a point to decide that death is bad. That's why we crave for
We
health,
want to cling on to what we've got, yeah.
longevity
Yeah.
of life. That's why many people are after AI, artificial intelligence, as their own consciousness being transferred to computers, and that consciousness, the singularity. I for a long time thought that singularity point would be reached in the consciousness of the written programs. No, it will not. Now I see. It will be the human consciousness, which is uncreatable by the humans.
Right.
That is going to be transferred into the realm of digitized computing, the quantum computing, and then it will be something else. The transform, the shift is going to be that transferring of human mind or consciousness
Into an artificial
onto,
system.
not into, onto a system of matrix, a digital nervous system, so to speak. And that is the ultimate eternal life. I don't want that.
On that point, I think I'll say